Hey guys, welcome to our team call today. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, please, I hope you know that I always appreciate and value the fact that you take time on a Friday morning to spend with me and with us and with our team. I hope that these calls are valuable to you and that they help you in your business. I really try to take as much good information as I can to share with you guys, to help you be as successful as you can possibly be. So thank you for taking the time to do this and to be with me. I'm just going to go ahead and start the screen share and jump right into the call because, as I said, there is a lot of information that I have on this subject, and we are going to be talking about the difference between being paralyzed by perfection and being pushed to excellence. So let's get into it. First, I want to recognize all of our leaders on the leaderboard for this month of June. This is the biggest leaderboard we've ever had. I'm so proud of everyone's hard work. I'm so proud of all the lives that these numbers represent. I've never actually tallied up how many lives that our team has affected, and when I did it this month, I was blown away to see that 39 people just from our little team in this month of June, we were able to affect 39 people, and that's just so exciting to me. I think of every single person and where they're at and how they're frustrated and how they want to make healthy changes in their life, and that this is the first step that they're taking to join your challenge group and to invest in their health and just the potential of what they are going to experience this next month as they join in the groups. And it just, I start thinking about it and I get all excited, and I'm just thrilled by all of your guys' hard work. So congrats to everybody on the board. All right, so in this particular call, we're going to really be, I know I say this a lot about calling us girl bosses, and it's because it's kind of one of my favorite words. I just love what it embodies, and to me it embodies women who are willing to work hard, women who want to be excellent, women who don't need somebody coming over their shoulder telling them what to do, but have that fire within them to be great, and who know that they're destined for greatness, who know that they're destined to do great things with their lives, and are willing to not just dream about it and talk about it, but do the work to make it happen. So that is what I strive to be. That's what I think all of us strive to be, and I hope is a mark of our team. So when it comes to network marketing reps and network marketing businesses, what tends to turn people off to people who are doing these kinds of direct sales? I think it's laziness and lack of training. I think that when someone starts one of these businesses, obviously you don't need a degree, you don't need to interview with anyone, you don't need to do anything really to get a job as a direct sales distributor. In any company, Mary Kay, Avon, Jamberry, Beachbody Coaching, whatever, you just sign up and you're there, you're good. So most people, because there's such a lack of qualifying at the front end, they kind of don't take it seriously. This is a job, this is my job, this is what I want to be really good at, this is what I want to do. And so people tend to be lazy. Whether it's copying and pasting a picture from the corporate website instead of coming up with your own content, or whether it's just spamming a bunch of friends with sort of a generic email and not really thinking through what people need or how you can serve them, but just sending an email to everybody on your list, that's laziness. And a lot of people do that, and that's kind of what turns everyone off to network marketing, is just this icky, you don't care about me, all you want is to make a sale off of me, and it just doesn't fly. It's not effective. And so I want us to be different. I want us to be well-trained. I want us to be willing to work hard and not just copy and paste from some website. But don't take that to mean that we can't work smart. I want us to work smarter and not harder. So the way that I do this personally is I have scripts. I have things that are pre-written up that I've spent time crafting what I want to say, and I do apply them differently depending on the conversation I'm having with someone, but the bulk of the information I'm sending them, I've already written it up. I don't have to recreate the wheel every time I have a conversation with someone. Same with forming. Forming is just getting to know someone and building relationship with them and asking about their family and their occupation and their kids and their new job and their vacation that they just took, and just taking time to get to know someone. And I have questions that I usually ask people, mostly the same questions over and over. So I have those already written out. And so that way, if it's like early in the morning and I'm doing my invites and I'm like, oh, what do I say to people? I don't even have to think about it. So I'm working smarter, not harder, but I'm not being lazy. I think there's a big difference between that. And guys, just as a side note, forming is not just like this thing you have to get through before you can make an invite to someone to join your group. Forming is actually super important because as you're talking with someone and as you're getting to know them and what's going on in their life, you want to be constantly listening for clues of how you can provide a solution to their problem. So if you're talking with someone and they just got a new job and now they're traveling all the time and they're not anywhere near their gym, so they haven't been working out, or they're eating out a lot more because they're traveling and so they've gained some weight, like listening to those clues and knowing about what's going on in their life helps you come up with a solution for them, helps you be able to offer them help. So you wouldn't want to offer them Body Beast, which requires like a whole rack of weights and all this equipment, because they're traveling. They're in a hotel room. They don't have room or equipment or anything like that. So you might want to talk to them about PIO instead, or 21-day fix containers to help with their nutrition that they're eating out or whatever. But listening and forming with people is what separates the good coaches from the mediocre coaches. The mediocre coaches just kind of send the same basic information to everybody, doesn't care where they're at, what's going on in their life. But the great coaches, they listen to people and they offer them a solution based upon their life and what's going on for them. And that's how you show that you really care, that you're not just forming with someone just to get it out of the way so you can give them an invite. You want to know what's going on in their life. How can I help you? And what's going on, the challenges that you have. So we want to work smarter, not harder, have scripts, have questions that you're going to mostly ask everybody that you come in contact with, and even blog posts, writing your thoughts on the 21-day fix or PIO or whatever, having that already written out. So easy to send to people when they ask you for more information. So we do want to work smarter, not harder, but we don't want to be lazy, and that's going to set us apart. So here's a little graph that I made about how to be a really good coach. We want to work this like it's your job, right? When you went to school, I don't know about you guys, but I wanted to get good grades. So I worked hard, like I applied myself. When I got a job, I wanted to do well in my job. So I worked hard and I applied myself and I did what it took to do well and to be good. So same with coaching. Work at it like it's your job. Be a really good coach. And this is what it takes to be a really good coach. You have to learn. Yes, you have to take time and learn. And you have to practice. And that means failing a lot. So we want to be somewhere in the middle. We don't want to just not care and be lazy and not learn and not really apply ourselves. But at the same time, we don't want to be paralyzed by perfection, where all we do is study and learn, but we're too afraid to take the first step. Because it's right there in the middle when you're willing to combine learning with practice that you're going to be a really good coach. So why should you care? Why should you care about being a really good coach? Why should you care about doing things with excellence and then also like actually doing things and not just being paralyzed by perfection? Why do we want to get right there in the middle? Well, here's the thing with coaching. You have to build credibility. Like I said, this isn't a job that you interview for or that you have a degree. None of us went to school to be a Beachbody coach. There's no degree for that. So instead, like if you're a teacher, people come into your class and they know that you have a degree. They know that you were interviewed by the principal of the school. You have this credibility from the very beginning. As coaches, we don't. We have zero credibility and we have to build it up ourselves. And that takes time, but it's absolutely doable. You have to earn it after you become a coach. And to do that, you want to think through everything you post. If all you're posting are blurry, dark pictures, if you don't post very often, if you're not really very consistent, if if the content you put out there is kind of like blah and half-baked and not really thought through, you're showing people what kind of coach you are. You're building an expectation for the type of work you do, for how much you care about your job, and for the amount of energy and effort that you put into it. And so even if you're not like a 10-star coach, come to work. I hate this phrase, fake it till you make it, but it's kind of that same idea. I prefer the phrase act as if. Act as if you're a 10-star coach. Act as if you have tons of success, and bring your A game every day to your business. Build that credibility. Have pictures that are full of light. Be consistent every single day. Be positive. Show that you're working hard. Show that you care. Show that you want to be really good at this business, and you're going to attract people to you, and you're going to build that credibility, and you're going to be super, super successful. So people who are paralyzed by perfection, they have that high standard, but they don't have the courage to go for it until they feel like they can do it at this optimum level. People who are paralyzed by perfection, they won't even open a Facebook like page until they've gotten professional headshots. They won't open anything until they've learned everything about like pages and how to run ads and how to get good reach, and they know exactly what they're going to post the whole month. I struggle with this sometimes. I kind of struggle on both ends, but it's good that you have that drive to be excellent, but if you never put into practice what you're doing, if you never step out there and open your doors and share about what you're doing and be willing to fail and be willing to make mistakes along the way, you're never going to be what you're striving to be, because all the research in the world can never get you where you want to go if you never put it into practice. So for example, I try to live out what I'm telling you guys right now, where I want to have a high standard and at the same time not let my lack of perfection keep me from going for it. So for example, my profile picture, right? Your profile picture should have you in it, right? It should be a picture that's somewhat clear, that's a nice picture of you, that you're probably the only person in it, maybe with your husband, but if there's like a bunch of girlfriends around you, nobody knows who you are. So it should be a picture that people can see who you are, and it's a nice picture, and it's well lit, and you look happy and positive and healthy and like a cool person to want to know. So that should be what your profile picture should be. Now, perfection, what the top 10 coaches do, what I strive to be at one day is, a professional headshot. Like any CEO of any company that you go to on Facebook has a professional headshot, right? They have great lighting because they want you to take them seriously. They're serious about their work and they want other people to take them seriously. Same thing with Beachbody coaching. Do I have a professional headshot? No. I don't even know where to get one, to be honest. I think the only person who I found down here charges like $400 for professional headshots. And that's just not in my budget. So no, I don't have a professional headshot. If I waited until I did to become a Beachbody coach, I would have missed out on like a whole year of coaching. But I do have the best photo, and actually it could probably be better, but I have the best photo that I can have up to now. I feel like my photo shows my positivity and as much professionalism as I can in my personality. So that's kind of an idea of what this middle ground is, where you don't have to wait for perfection to get started, but you do want to be pushed to excellence. It's kind of like that really uncomfortable place where you're like, gosh, I'm not like a rock star who like has it all together, but I'm not going to let that like shut me down so that I never do anything. The same thing with my blog. My blog is still vanfernan@wordpress.com. Professional bloggers really should have their own domain, like with no WordPress attached to it. It doesn't really cost that much money. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. So yeah, I'm not at perfection. My header is not where I want it to be. I really want it to be different. I've been playing around with some stuff and it's just not where I want it to be. But so I'm not perfection, but I have a subscribe here link on the side so people can subscribe to my blog. I post everything to Pinterest. I have a link to my Instagram, and I have a really good about me section that tells my story, that gives people a way to contact me and to fill out an application form to be a part of my group. So I'm trying to find that middle ground where, okay, I'm not able to be at professional level. I want to be. Don't think that I've lowered my standards, but I'm not letting that stop me from taking my first steps. I'm going to go for it before I'm completely ready, but I'm not going to lower my standards. Does that make sense? I hope that I'm making sense. The way that I try to keep my standards without overwhelming myself and shutting myself down is I keep running lists. I'm a list person. So I have a list of like if I could dream about my ideal social media presence or my ideal activities as a coach. I mean, I would have a professional blog. I would have professional headshots. I would have awesome videos, like just gorgeous. I would, I have this whole list of things that are ideal. This pushing to excellence. What does a top 10 coach do? What are they posting about? What kind of content are they putting out there? I want to reach for the stars. So I keep that running list. And then as I have time, I'll open it up and I'll say, you know what, this week, could I take any action on any of these points? Could I maybe ask a friend to do professional headshots for me? Or could I play around with the video settings on my phone and see if I can get better quality than what I have? It'll only take me 15 minutes of Googling to see if I can do that or not. But it's like, having that goal to shoot for of excellence helps me to inch my way towards it. But it's not going to stop me from posting whatever videos that I can at the moment, because, mediocre content done consistently always wins over perfect content that's never done and that's never out there. So I don't want you guys to just be okay with mediocrity and be like, oh, whatever, this is a crap picture, but I'm just going to post it. Push yourself to your limits, but don't stop and never post because it's not absolutely perfect. So why do we not like to be in that middle ground? Because it's so uncomfortable. Being lazy is super comfortable. Posting somebody else's words, copy and pasting somebody else's picture from Beachbody, that's comfortable. I don't have to put myself out there. I'll just put their words out there. I'll just post somebody else's stuff. I'll just post an article from BuzzFeed that they wrote. That's super comfortable because I didn't really have to put any skin in the game, And on the other hand, researching something to death and nitpicking something to death, and what if I move this around, and what if I move that around, and what if I tweak this word, and what if I tweak that word, and is this really my voice, and let me sleep on it. And researching something to death is comfortable because you never actually have to take action on it and put it out there. But being in the middle, pushing yourself to be great, pushing yourself a little outside of your comfort zone, trying something that's a step above where you're at, jumping in, learning something new, going for it before you're ready is super uncomfortable. But just like when you work out, there's this quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger, the big bodybuilder, that literally all of your progress comes in the last 3 reps, right? So let's say you did 20 reps and you're going and you're going and you're going. All of those other reps, all the 17 other reps you did, is basically just getting your muscles to the point of fatigue. And then the last 3 reps, when you're burning and you're like, I can't do this anymore, and you do 3 more, that's what actually makes the changes and builds the muscle and helps your body to grow. If you always stayed in your comfort zone in your workouts, you're not going to see any progress whatsoever. So yes, it's super uncomfortable to jump out before you're ready and to push yourself to be more excellent than you are right now. But that's where the growth happens. That's where the excellence comes. That's where you grow just that little inch, and then again a little inch, and before you know it, people are looking at you like, oh my gosh, how do you do it? And you're just like, well, I just did it one tiny step at a time, and I wasn't satisfied with mediocrity, but I didn't let perfection paralyze me and shut me down. So how do you know if you're letting perfectionism paralyze you? Here are some thoughts that maybe you've had. I know I've had them a lot. oh, I need to learn more before I can dot, 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 dot. Or, you know, I don't really understand this yet, or I don't really know what my voice is yet, or I don't really have like a great perfect schedule together yet. I'm not really successful yet. So how can I invite people to join me in my team? Or once I figure all this out, then I'll go all into coaching. You know, any of those thoughts, that's just you self-sabotaging. That's just you letting perfectionism paralyze you. Everything is figure outable. You've got your team. You've got Beachbody's trainings on the back office. You've got me. You've got your success partners. You've got Google, for crying out loud. Anything is figure outable if you're willing to be courageous and if you're willing to go all in. That's just not how we roll, to give ourselves excuses of, I just need to learn more. I need more time. I need to, you know, focus on this or that. Like, you learn through failure, and you learn through failing and trying again. It's how babies learn how to walk. It's how we learn how to talk. It's how we learn anything, spelling, reading, math. I mean, I'm just about to homeschool my oldest son, and he hates it because he hates to fail. And every time that I'm like, oh, no, that's not right, let's try it again, he gets so frustrated. And that's just something that we have to like get over our own egos and be like, you know what? I'm going to fail, but the more times I fail and the faster I fail, let me just get it out of the way, then I can get to the destination that I want to get to. And I can be that great, excellent coach that I have, that ideal coach that I have in my mind. So those are the slides that I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that this was encouraging to you guys. So it's really something that, you know, it can be so paralyzing to realize that you're not going to be perfect from the very get-go. But at the same time, it can be so liberating because you can realize that you can try anything. And if it doesn't work, you just reevaluate and you try again. Guys, I have failed so many times. I could probably fill a whole team call with all the things that I've done wrong. In fact, I just realized that I had a bunch of applications for my blog had been piling up in my junk folder for like a month. I had like a month worth, I think probably like over 25 applications to my challenge group that I had not gotten back to. And I was like, I've lost all credibility. I can't believe I didn't do this. I can't believe I didn't see this. But okay, so that happened. I'm just gonna do better next time. Now I'm gonna check my junk folder every single day, and I'm gonna fix the settings. And, you know, there's just no way to avoid failure. But if you're willing to make the mistakes, and if you're willing to push yourself to be just as excellent as you can be, guys, like really, really good coaches, then nothing can stop you, really. So